I wouldn't miss the opportunity to read the face of a king. What is Prince Charles like in his younger years, and what would he be like as King Charles III? So much to reveal in this episode, so stay tuned and here we go. So King Charles is 73 and he's ascended to the throne. Will he be a good monarch? Let's take a look at his face, a deep dive, and it's quite easy to read an older person's face because the lines are showing and the character's already been formed. So the first thing we notice here are the eyebrows. The eyebrows are quite tangled. It's not flowing in the same direction, it's going in different directions. And when you look at the younger Charles, it's not the case. It becomes more tangled as he grows older, and this shows the complexity of how he processes information. Let's hold that thought, but the position as a monarch, there's so much to consider before even opening your mouth. We also look at the ears. The ears are large. People notice it, but what does it mean? It's not only large, it's a squarish rectangular type. These are people that usually take in a lot of information. Now, relative to the size of the mouth and the eyes, Prince Charles take in more information than to give information, or in a way, he listens more than he speaks, and that's quite apparent already. Okay, but when you see his eyes here, there are crow's feet. Even when he's not smiling, there are crow's feet. And these are smiling lines. It tells me that these are frequently used muscles, and when he's out of the camera eye and when he can be himself, he likes to joke a lot and he really likes to laugh. But maybe in the public front, he needs to show a more serious and solemn disposition. What else do we see? I said it before in my previous video. He has very deep presets, which means at the top part of his nose bridge, there's an indentation. This tells me that this person processes information very fast. Although sometimes it seems that he doesn't reply quickly, it doesn't mean that he doesn't process information quickly. All in all, he's an intelligent person that takes in a lot of information, and his position as a monarch, he will probably have a lot of time to learn and to read. Important information are always shared with him readily. So King Charles is a highly intelligent person that is of a certain level and status, and I was quite impressed when the interviewer asked him about his infidelity towards Diana in the earlier years. Did you make any attempt to be loyal to Diana? And I said, oh, how is he going to answer that question? He answered it so well. He said, yes, I made every attempt I could to be loyal until the marriage broke down. Okay, it's like, yeah, I did. I'm a loyal person, but once the marriage breaks down, can't blame me. Okay, smart guy. Okay, what else do we see here? He has this line that comes from here all the way down to the chin. That's a communication line. So strange, right? It seems like he's a very quiet person that doesn't speak much, but actually he does speak a lot. Maybe probably only not within the camera eye, but he does speak a lot. And well, just like most British people, they use a lot of words. So unlike Singapore, where we have this language called Singlish, we cut short everything to like one word or two words at the fastest possible way to answer someone. If you ask a British person, how was the meal? Oh, it was absolutely delightful. I'm so glad that I enjoyed it. It was marvelous, actually. Such an epicure treat. For Singaporeans, you ask them, how was the meal? Wow, very nice. That's it, 3 sentences. So the more you communicate, the more lines that you have here. That's the communication line. But you also see that there's this emotional line that goes to the mouth and then it comes down. Both sides, in the professional side and also in the personal side. And what does that mean? Let's talk about the professional side first. The professional side, what is it? This is a grief line. The things that shock his system, weigh him down. As a prince for so many years and the shadow king of Queen Elizabeth, you see, unless you absolutely do not care about your country, which I seriously doubt, he has a lot of invested interest in his country because he's going to be the future king. So unlike, like, let's say I'm in Singapore right now, and one of the big events, but not so big anyway, it was a little riot in Serangoon Road, a racial riot recently, and police cars and ambulance were turned over.
Singapore police have confirmed a riot has occurred at the junction of Racecourse Road and Hampshire Road at 9:23 p.m. The public have been advised to stay away from the affected area. The commotion reportedly began when a Bangladeshi worker was hit by a bus and was killed. Eyewitnesses said they heard explosions. Other eyewitnesses reported seeing police cars.
Singapore's a small country, so it's just a stone throw away from us. But I'm not the government, and it's an interesting news. I care about it a bit, but I don't care as much as probably the ministers of the country. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever happens to your country, the Prime Minister is in charge, but also, of course, the King, who knows that this is his kingdom, would care, will have vested interest. So everything that happens to Britain will be on the shoulders of Queen Elizabeth and the future King, King Charles. Okay, so that is his grief line on his professional side, or his career side, which is his country. And then there's also a grief line on his personal side. Okay, no need to talk about that personal side thing. Okay, so let's continue and look at Charles' face. What else do we see? His upper lips is actually very thin. So we look at his younger picture, younger Charles, and we'll see two things. One is that the eyes, the epicanthal fold is really quite prominent since young. It's kind of genetic that he's really born with that kind of character, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then we also see that the lips is slightly thicker, and so as he progresses to be older in age, he is even more careful in what he says. You know, there is this saying that Queen Elizabeth survived so long as a well-loved queen is because she seldom gets involved and do any public statement on anything political. Okay, and although normal people like us with no power, we go on social media, we talk a lot, and we say a lot, we give all our opinions. The Queen, who is the ruler, refrain from making public statements over many political issues. Okay, so in a way that is tight-lipped, and that would in a way cause the lips to become thinner. Now, when we go back to the early Charles, what I want to touch on, and I hope British don't get offended, is the hair. This is a very unusual hair style that even when you watch Netflix, when they try to use a young Prince Charles actor to cover young Prince Charles' role, they can't even get that hair. Okay, so it's to me, and I don't have the right words to explain this. This type of hair tells me that this person has a little bit of unusual behavior. I don't even want to use the word eccentric, but it's a very unusual behavior that's not mainstream. And to be able to accept that haircut rather than cutting off the curls, some of you says the hair is genetic, but I guess it's a little bit more than that, because when you see this young Prince Charles, they're having this wavy curly hair, and this current older Prince Charles, you see that the waviness has reduced so much. Okay, so look at this side view of this young Prince Charles when his face is a little bit concave. It immediately tells me that he is a non-aggressor. So in his early days, even in his in his school, Gordonstoun, is that how you pronounce it? Snow. He was bullied. Okay, he just took it. He didn't fight back. He just got up, and he has always been a non-aggressive gentleman. Okay, so he has always been that. So maybe people were worried how he would be as King Charles. I want to compare the two countenances of the young Prince Charles and the older Prince Charles. The current King Charles, really look solid, okay, ready, very experienced. And how can he not? He is 73 years old, and with the collective experience and being groomed for decades to be the future King of England, he looks really solid now. He doesn't have that fearful look that he was as a teenager, lack of confidence as a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. He's absolutely solid right now. So that's great news. When we talk about even Diana was 19 years old when she got married. I was 13, and 19 is a really tender age. You think about getting married at 19 to Prince Charles. I thought about it when I was 19. I thought about, what if I were married to Prince Charles? Okay, that's a gross thought. But anyway, it's such a tender age, and the age gap was so different, so there would possibly be a lot of tension, which there was. And according to the documentary, the tensions started during their visit to Australia, and she was so much more popular than King Charles, and he got jealous. You know, at the end of the day, what struck me was the Australian 60 Minutes, who carried this 1 hour documentary, is a statement made by one of the authors of a book, and it says, you know, marrying into the monarchy will never be easy. In fact, I'm glad to think that even being a monarch is not easy at all. You know, your life has been made, this is expected of you from the institution, as what Megan said, or the establishment, but you know, you have your specific rules set up for you, and unless you want to break out like Prince Harry did, your life is set, and it's not going to be easy. It might be looks like so glamorous. Oh, I want to marry William or Charles or Harry, and oh, be a princess. You know, your freedom is taken away from you. The freedom's absolutely taken away from you, and you're told what to wear, what to say, what to eat, how to behave. We as commoners looking from outside, it seems very nice to live in a palace and all, but you know, as a coach, I'm saying that happiness is more important than being a ruler of a country or having all those expensive clothes to wear. Ultimately, are you happy? And that's, as you can see from Diana and from Meghan, that they were not happy at all. I can't even imagine wearing the crown. How heavy do you think the crown is? When I went into the military and I wore the helmet, it was really giving me neck pain. The crown is set to be 1 over kilograms, 2 point something pounds. That's about like 3 cans of Coke on your head.